Good Monday morning, Dave.
Good Monday morning, Mark. What's going on? Let's talk about life and everything else.
Let's talk about the fact that you and I started doing this, figuring we'll do it for a week or two, and now we're on week 6.
Yeah, the good thing is that we're consistent and we're here. The bad thing is that it's week 6. But you know what? I mean, there are people that watch it. Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 21, maybe it's 51, or we'll see it. But I think it's still extremely important what we're doing and how we're doing it, and because we're both nice guys. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But what's really important is the gratitude that you and I think both have for all of the people, the CEOs, the leaders, real estate agents, and brokers that have come onto our show to share with you and me and our audience so many different ideas of business, of life, of how to stay positive throughout all this time. I mean, we're doing everything we can, to help people, and the fact that other CEOs and other leaders have saw what we were doing and want to join us has been, super, super nice and exciting. So I'm grateful to all of them for willing to come on. We have a bunch of other leaders who are willing to come on in the next, few weeks. As we can confirm them, we'll let you know. But I think it's just something special that we created here.
I think so too. I mean, we've had local people on, we've had national people on, like Charlie Oppler's not only local, but he's also National Association of Realtors president-elect. We had Justin DeMola, who is a national mortgage guy who knows what's going on all over the country because he works with different mortgage people throughout the country and shed a lot of light on what's going on in the mortgage industry. We had a broker from Ohio on who talked about, things are basically, what we've been doing has been the same in every state.
Right.
And, we had on the mayor of Teaneck last week, which was huge. And while our numbers, you look at who's viewed stuff, I never believe those because I know people that I know are not on social media that knew we had him on and not in New Jersey and other states.
Right.
Right.
I mean, he was great. Talk about, true leadership skills, understanding the global picture, but for the local economy for Teaneck. I think he was great. Having George Ledesma on last week, was really helpful for here in New Jersey. And again, your royalty of real estate, Sekou and Brett, and Chris, the three of them are always great to see.
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about. While they were talking in today, it sounded more futuristic simply because they're talking about how things are happening, where they're moving along and building their businesses based on what it is today. Right. It's like Mark, every day is a new day.
Right.
Things got to be done differently, and I will tell you that yes, we're in a place where money is something that is not taken for granted today. If it was taken for granted 6 weeks ago or 12 weeks ago, it is not taken for granted at all today. It is like I don't actually understand it myself because I have my thoughts and processes of what I have to do money wise, and you do too, right?
Yeah. And just to give an example of that, up until now, we all kind of just expected that no matter what we do every day, how we do it, money will come, right?
Right.
There was cash flow, right? It's a cash flow issue, right? We all make X amount of dollars a month and we spend it on our lives, however we decide to spend it. But all of a sudden, when that faucet turns off and it doesn't come every week or it doesn't come every month, all of a sudden it's like, wow, I wouldn't realize how dependent I was on that, and it makes people, rethink where they're spending their money when they have less of it to spend.
Right.
So it's just interesting to watch that progression happen. And National Association of Realtors came out with a statistic a couple weeks ago that every time a house sells, $80,000 gets reinvested in the economy. Right. So that's a nationwide average, not necessarily the same in every place. But to think about that for a minute, that, when real estate slows down and stops in certain areas, the fact that that flow of money doesn't trickle into other businesses such as movers and painters and home improvements and home goods type stuff, and all those things that people end up buying. And then, other people buy housewarming gifts, right? And they buy a bottle of wine. It all just trickles to all these different parts of the economy that it really affects so many other people.
I think there's so many things we can come up with. How about the pizza that they buy on moving day because they don't have time to make anything else? And like you said, bottles of wine and let's get a 6-pack for the movers, or
right.
All that other stuff that goes into it. I mean, it might even be, the simple one is a handyman, but when you talk about the flow of money and cash flow, is people don't. Not always understood before. I kind of put this together with Sekou and him and I first started collaborating, and I'm sure we didn't make it up, but it's like we work for a living and we live for a lifestyle, which
right.
means we're working to build that lifestyle. Now it's like, what we're seeing is there's some funny stuff we're seeing is like these memes and these little videos about the first day of quarantine and the 30th day of quarantine. I saw a video yesterday with Sebastian Maniscalco, the comedian, practicing social distancing with his wife in his house.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty funny, but all these different things are happening, and we're seeing people in their element, like seeing Dave Matthews performing with a guitar and an internet mic, to help people. It's just like things have evolved to a certain place of care for the most part, but there's a lot of people out there that do need help.
Yes, and we talk about this all the time, gratitude, but Gratitude Monday right now. I am so happy and thankful that my friend Michael Goldsmith was able to come home yesterday from the hospital after being on a vent and out for 22 days. He made it home. He is recovering well, and the doctors think he'll make a full recovery, which is rare for someone who has been on a vent and been in a coma for so long. But he's doing well. We all got to see him come home. We had a parade for him as he came down the block, screaming and cheering for him. And it sounds like he's doing well. There's a long road ahead for physical therapy, but to know that he's going to be okay, and everyone around here is grateful that he was able to come home. So, just want to put that out to everyone. The article is on my Facebook page if you want to read it. But
I just sort of
here.
I think that's a testament to the heroes at all the hospitals and everything else. You're starting to see signs on lawns thanking people. I drove. I was with my daughter yesterday, and I brought her home to Hoboken, and every block had something different. Showing gratitude to the hospital workers and stuff. One had blue bows, the other had pink hearts, one had yellow flags. It was very cool. And by the way, also, if you're going to Hoboken, you can find a parking space.
That's good to know. I mean, if you drive anywhere right now, you can get, without any traffic.
Unless that's Krispy Kreme.
Unless it's Krispy Kreme, in which case you're going to wait an hour for a donut. But, the people who like Krispy Kreme will wait 2 hours for a donut.
We talked about, mentioned Gratitude Monday. I want to tell you that I'm grateful for the closeness that I've gotten with you and my daughters, Kristen and Caitlin, and everybody out there that I've spoken to. I mean, I'll throw a couple of names out there: Justin Smith, Pete Kopech, my family, and I want to thank you all for being there. I mean, look, I'll tell you what. I mean, I've had my moments. I've had momentary breakdowns. I had a morning breakdown. It's just like it's different, right? And sometimes it gets to you, and it's okay to feel that way. And that's why I bring that out, Mark. It's okay to feel that way, and I want everybody to know that. Just don't think there's something wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. It's everybody else is doing it.
Listen, as you and I both know, there's ups and downs in life, ups and downs in business. And now it's just being, brought to the forefront because we're all just going through what's called the Groundhog Day effect, right? We're getting up every day. It's the same thing over and over and over again without anything changing. And we're all hoping it changes, but it gets difficult. It gets to you. It makes you rethink, what is it you're doing every day in order to try to change it for the next day. So, we all can just, come together and work together as often as possible. I mean, you and I, work under this banner, Unite to Expand, right? Let's all unite together, work together to expand our minds, to expand our business, to expand our life, right? And really just help people get to the next level, whatever that level is for them. Like, we want to help you get there.
Right. And it's funny you just mentioned that, because I was thinking that on, I don't know what we had Sekou and all them on Friday, and I'm thinking Unite, because it was, it's the background. I saw Unite to Expand, and then I had Veronica Figueroa on my broadcast, my weekly broadcast, Real Estate Talk, and it was like, everybody's uniting. Everybody, I mean, this is something that I think, it's going to change us. It's not something that happened today and tomorrow we recover and we move forward in the recovery. Recovery is not something that, you're going to heal like a cut on your arm. It's not going to heal like that. There's changes, there's differences, there's life altering, societal altering things going on. And let's make them for the positive.
Right.
Make it all for the positive and the good. And you know what? I said this once before, I'm going to say it again. Gratitude Monday. Mm-hmm. If you have to go to a supermarket today and they have flowers, buy a flower, and when you walk outside, give it to the first person you see and say, thank you for being alive. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's switch a little bit to the small business world, right? Okay. There's a lot of our communities and our towns that, have these small businesses. Everyone was waiting for this PPP loan. Everyone was waiting for his economic relief. Money ran out last week, and it really stressed out a lot of the small businesses because they didn't get anything, or if they got something a lot less than what they expected. So, let's thank them. We appreciate them throughout the year, but right now they're struggling more than ever, and we need to support them. We need to help them. We need to do what we can, whether it's just calling them up and saying, hey, can I buy a gift certificate for a later use? Or can I, if it's a restaurant, ordering from them now for a takeout, and you don't have to take it out for yourself, order it for someone else. And like, hey, I'm going to order a meal for you. What time do you want your meal delivered? And just do what you can for others. We talk about this a lot, but those small businesses right now, as weeks go by, like you and I said, we're on week 6 of doing this, but these guys rely on month to month, week to week, day to day business in order to survive. And it's been truly difficult for them, the last few weeks.
Truly difficult. We did takeout yesterday from a nice restaurant, and there weren't a lot of people there, and we felt bad. We gave a huge tip just because we know that there's people working in that kitchen, and we were the second order in an hour, and we know they're not going to be able. The restaurant itself is probably going to close. I noticed a lot of places that were open over the past 2 weeks not open yesterday.
Right.
I don't know why, but a lot of Starbucks were closed yesterday. I don't know why, with the drive-up windows, of course. Right. But Krispy Kreme, as I said, was open. But it's important that we need to save our money, and we talked about how important that is. But it's also important that so it's hard for me to say give because I know what everybody's going through. I know personally, but I also want to say that share. Maybe that's the word, right? But So 6 weeks ago today we started. At that day, that morning, I actually was in Germantown, Tennessee.
You were.
Tennessee is where I was.
Yep.
Daughter's dining room, and thinking about what's the airport going to look like, et cetera, et cetera. Got back thinking, okay, we're going to do this for a couple of weeks, and we even talked that we would do it like we would start our own broadcast, do it weekly on a Monday or a Tuesday.
Right.
But this is. If we had to count, I said 6, 5, 26. This is show 26. But you know what? We're going to be here as long as this thing goes on, whether it's 26 or 1,026. I commit to that. And we're going to be here to support anybody and everybody. And like I said, if you need to talk to somebody, reach out to us.
Absolutely. Anyone's welcome to reach out to us, whether it be personal, whether it be business. If you need help with something, between Dave and I, we'll figure out who to get you to and how to help.
Yeah, we're both in real estate business, but we've been in business forever, and we know about it. And we also have children. We also have large families. We have families all over the country, all over the world. So we know what it is to be separated. I'm alone, so if you're alone, give me a call. I'll be glad to talk with you. I had someone reach out to me early this morning with an email. What time can you talk today? So I'll be talking to them later today because they're alone as well. Right. So, it's important to reach out and to help anybody and everybody. And you don't have to tell anybody what you're doing if you don't want to. I mean, that's your own private situation. Right. So.
Right. And then let's talk about real estate before we go on here. The real estate market should be reaching the height of the spring market here, at least in New Jersey. I know the markets are a little different throughout the country, but, talking to the agents locally, they all have buyers, they all have sellers. There are people who want to do business. They're all trying to figure out how to do it safely. And everyone keeps asking me, like, where's the market going to be? What's going on? I think that, there's enough demand out there still and enough people who want to move this year that whoever does put their house on the market and figures out how to do it safely will get their house sold, because the buyers are out there and a lot of them still do have jobs, right, or have a way to pay for it, or have been planning for it for a long time and have a large savings for it, right, and they're still going to do it. Right. I don't know that there's going to be a deep discount right now. I mean, there might be in the future, but the pricing, has not changed, at least by me, very much yet, because the demand is still there. They're still getting showings on the vacant houses that we have on the market.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like anything else. If it can happen, it's going to happen. And shout out to the attorneys and the title people and all the inspectors that are continuing to work. The appraisers. My brother's an appraiser. He's very busy, and the only thing that holds him back is if he can't get into a house. But all these people are still working and they're still doing business. And the spring market, while here and not like it usually is, it's still here. Yeah.
So agents should be focusing on investing time in themselves right now to educate, take classes. There are a ton of classes free online. There are some paid classes. There are ways to educate yourself on how to do things and how to do better marketing, different marketing ideas. There's a lot of sharing. Like I said, unite to expand. A lot of people around this country are uniting right now to help each other out, to educate agents, to give them ideas, to share with them processes in order to help build their business.
And I want to reach out to those that think, there's two types of agents that aren't doing much right now. Those that can, and Brett said this the other day, says there are agents out there that can just pick up their business when we get back to it, and they'll be fine. But there are those that are just doing nothing because either they feel like they can't, or they feel like they're stuck, or they just have a feeling of helplessness. And I get that 100%. I'm begging you, I'm imploring you, please start doing something. Start making phone calls to people say, how are you? Start doing the education. If you don't know where to go for the education and to learn more, reach out to Mark or I. We have a tremendous utility for that. And we can get you to what you want. And, whether it's webinars, whether it's classes, online different stuff, your MLS, your boards have all these things going online because they've adapted.
Right. I just want to give a shout out to a bunch of the small businesses that actually are watching us today. Joshua Masson, he owns a restaurant in Teaneck called Noble Wine and Grill. He's doing takeout. We had Ruven Mazeroski, who's at Chickies. Chicken bar, again, chicken sandwiches, stuff like that. They're still open doing delivery. Ali Ehrlich, they have a photography wedding studio, and they do photography and albums, and they do a wonderful job. So if you need anything coming up in the future, definitely reach out to any of them. Good morning, Phyllis Barr. She's watching us almost every morning. I see her come on. So good morning to you, and thank you for watching us every day.
Yeah, I want to do a shout out to Anna Marina's a deli here, a sandwich shop here in East Rutherford, Carlstadt, as well as Master Pizza in Carlstadt. Who are just doing a great job and making sure that they're open and serving the public as they have before. And it's all food based, but also so many great things. And as far as anything else is concerned, your faith and everything else, realize that it's there. And in this time of not being able to gather together for our faiths. Your faith is still very important, and don't forget that.
Yeah, so I want to wish everyone a great week. We have some really great guests coming up later this week, so definitely tune in.
Yeah, and I just want to promo one that's coming up on Wednesday. His name is Dr. Fanale. He is someone that I know very closely. He is the CEO and president of Care New England in Rhode Island, and he's going to talk about what's going on in hospitals and stuff. So that'll be Wednesday.
Right. So just want to thank everyone for always watching us. Hanging out with us is the 26th episode, as you said. I wish everyone a great day, great week, and if you need anything, again, reach out to either one of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much for everything you do.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Take care. See you.